So the question now becomes, how do I break these generational curses, whatever they are to you? In order for you to break generational curses, you have to learn from them first. So take that time to heal, really get down to the bottom of why you act the way that you act, why your parents acted the way that they acted. And if you notice that there's a certain pattern, then that is a generational curse. For me, what I chose to do is I saw certain things in not only my parents' relationships, but people in my family on both sides relationships, and decided that this is something that either I want or I don't want. And I'm choosing to be the adult that my inner child wished that they had their whole life. So if I am that adult that I wish that I had my whole life, I really feel like I can break any type of curse that is in my family and be a better example. Hi, kings and queens. What the heck? I am not on my cosmetics page. I am on my regular page. So, hi friends, welcome back. It's Ashley and I'm here with another episode of Dish and Makeup, where I talk my ish and I do my makeup. So this look is actually, it's low-key 70s inspired. I've just been trying to get inspo from somewhere, and I don't know, it's something about the 70s look where it's just very natural, very beautiful, but yet you still have boop, hello, I'm here type thing. So I decided to give that a try. You know, obviously there's more than one way to do it and there's so many different looks, but this is just something where if you're not one of those people where it's I wear very, very bold colors, but yeah, I still want to try something different, then this video here is for you. Don't really know what we're going to talk about today, but when we get over to the voiceover, we'll definitely talk about it. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be about generational trauma. So yeah, if you like my content, just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell button. I'm nice, you can comment, I comment right back. I swear I love you guys, even though you guys don't talk to me. I love y'all, and I'll see you in the video.
Welcome back. So basically what we are going to talk about is generational trauma. And also, don't mind me, I'm going to be singing, and yeah, comment down below if you can guess what songs that I was singing. But generational trauma is repeated patterns and behaviors that are detrimental or hindering to a family, race, gender, etc. that's being passed down from one generation to the next. This can be anything from a mindset to actual behaviors that are seen throughout the generations. For example, hearing, everyone in our family are hotheads. Is that a fact? Or is that a behavior that has been passed down from others in your family from generation to generation? So, do you behave that way because everyone else in your family behaves that way? That is just one example. So, I'll give a little background, and this is probably going to ruffle some feathers because some are going to be like, that's not my situation, and for some, it's not. But for others, it is. They just don't recognize it. So I noticed for me in my situation, a lot of generational trauma had to deal with actual trauma bonding. Now, if you don't know what trauma bonding is, there are videos out there. I can refer you to some like Dr. Ramani and Common Ego. I'll place that in the description down below. So they're very insightful and allowed me to see certain patterns not only in my romantic relationships, but also my familiar relationships as well. So I've seen loveless marriages where the partner is not appreciated, valued, or even respected as an equal, but more so they have to fit a certain mold of what a person should be doing in a relationship versus who the person is. And it's not even being specific because that's really not my business, but it is something that I have noticed since I was a child. So in general, I've seen a lot of unhappy people in marriages for all for the sake of being married instead of that person reaching their fullest potential as an individual. And I also noticed how at times we strive for perfection and we don't get that gratification or the I'm proud of you from elders very often. And normally, if you're not seen as quote unquote successful, it's really not enough for them anyway. So these patterns, they affected me and my relationships because it caused me to subconsciously attract the wrong people in my life. I'm actually speaking like rather broadly here, talking about the wrong friend groups, the wrong work relationships, and obviously the wrong partners as well. Because, you know, your girl does not have a good track record when it comes to that. There was a need for codependency compared to actually learning how to be an individual. And identifying what behaviors you saw growing up and how they not only made you feel, but how they affected you is key to making the change to break any type of generational curse or trauma. So the ability to dive deep and accept the truth as to what transpired and what you think, the way that you think, is absolutely important in this process as well. It's the difference between perception and actual truth. And it's good to, like, you know, if you really like need to process certain things, it's good to talk to somebody. If you don't want to talk to like family or friends, like, you talk to a professional. There's nothing wrong with therapy or anything else like that. And it's also important to embrace any feelings, whether positive or negative, because it allows growth. So growth is uncomfortable but necessary. When you're raised up, you only know what you're being taught. And your parents, they do the best that they can with what resources that they have. And one thing that I learned when I was in an inpatient treatment is that, you know, everybody, they do their best. But sometimes their best is not good enough. So just take that into account. So yeah. And it also, you know, it's not to excuse any type of mistreatment at all. But it definitely gives a better understanding. So the way that I'm combating this within my own life is by addressing any type of negative mindsets when it comes to myself, the way I think, and the way I behave. I always ask my inner child, like, if there's something that bothered them and why. And then I get down to the bottom of it. And believe it or not, it can really get down to the bottom of a lot of issues that you have. A lot of issues stem from childhood trauma. So yeah, I'm learning to be a better person so that I can experience life the way that I always wanted to experience life, but also so I can be the adult that I wanted to see growing up. You know, I think my child self would actually be very proud of me. But children, they're like sponges. They absorb everything around them, both the good and the bad. Doubting a child and imparting certain behaviors and beliefs of your own can in a way be detrimental for a child's growth. When you're a child, you're at your purest state as self, your personality, what you see as right and wrong. But as you grow, the beliefs that are imparted on you mold you into the person that you become as an adult. It's up to you as an adult to either repeat the behaviors or change the behaviors so that you don't repeat the same cycles. We have the ability to change. We don't have to accept what others in our family accepted in the past. We have more resources now to where we can get help and not feel alone in our experiences. Oh, that was real aggressive right there. But that was my song. Yeah, so really, like, the whole goal really is just like, let's change to be better and not allow things to consume us and change us for the worse. Even though it's hard, there's a lot of things that people go through that really is extremely traumatic, and you know, they notice, oh well, my parents went through that, so I expect to go through the same thing, or everyone in my family is like this, so I have to be like that too. When honestly, you really have a choice in what you want to do with your life. It's a lot easier said than done, but it's possible. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of changing your mindset. When you start to change your mindset, you start to have realizations that certain things, they just aren't true. And when you start to realize that, like, you know, you start to have like conflicting feelings at times, and you know, you may feel angry, you may feel hurt, you may feel sad. And, you know, there are some people who are out here just willingly being ignorant. You know, I've seen other people, you know, in my life, friends, family, like I said before, doesn't matter who, they repeat the same things because that's all they know. But you have the choice to change. You have the choice to be better than your parents if your parents treated you like shit. Sorry, I have to say like that because there are some people who really should not be parents, but they are. And, you know, it causes some people to make certain decisions in life or treat people certain ways because that's all they know and that's all they see. So, you know, one thing that I really actually did appreciate about my parents is the fact that even though they may have had certain beliefs, they never necessarily like imparted them onto us. You know, because those were their beliefs, and they wanted us to be individuals and for us to really have a mind of our own when it comes to certain opinions. And even though they may not have agreed necessarily with certain things, they allowed me and my sister to have that space to express that. So that I am very grateful for. You know, but other things that I did notice when it comes to that, because at this point I'm just going off of the brick. But certain things that I did notice, like when you're younger, like some people they don't value a child's opinion because in their mind it's like, oh well, you're a child. And when some people, I hated, like especially like when like I turned 18, 19 years old, and like I would say certain things and people would be like, oh well, you're a child. No, I'm not a child anymore. I am still a teenager, yes, but I'm not a child anymore. At this point, I'm legally an adult, and I can say whatever I want, and I have my own opinions, and I'm allowed to have my own opinions. But usually, people who say stuff like that or say, oh well, a child's being disrespectful, and sometimes yes, sometimes they don't. But a lot of times when people say, oh, that child's disrespectful, or you know, they don't know about, like, you know, how to wash their tongue or with this, that, and the third, it's more so that child's probably saying the actual truth and they don't like to hear that. And so they pull the I'm the child, you're a child, you don't know anything, or whatever the case may be. Which actually a lot of times like I said before, children are like sponges. They absorb everything. They notice everything. There were some things that I noticed since I was a child that, you know, that I was like, oh, this isn't right. This is not right. So, you know, I'm just really, my growth now is absolutely like, that's why I said I really think my child self would really be proud of me. I'm able to actually be able to speak my mind and have absolutely no regrets about it. This channel definitely has helped me a lot in really being able to express myself. So I'm forever grateful that, you know, I'm starting to find my voice and that I'm just able to express myself. And, you know, it took a while to be able to communicate my feelings effectively, because a lot of times, and this isn't just with me, it's just a family experience more so, where, you know, we're quick to fly off the handle. And then I started realizing, like, it's not getting me nowhere. I've lost jobs over it. Not lost jobs, I've quit jobs. I don't get fired, I quit. But anyway, if y'all want story times on, like, I've cussed like managers out, like all the way out, and I didn't even care. I still don't care to this day. I would actually cuss them out even more if I could, but I'm over that. You know how like sometimes like you're arguing, you're like, dang, I wish I could have said this. That's how I am when it comes to those situations. Because work for yourself, not for the man. I mean, I still work for the man. I like my job. I'm quiet, but yeah. Yeah, so just the whole goal is to be a better person, and then on top of that, unlearn behaviors that you learned as a child. It's okay for you to recognize that certain things that happened as a child, it wasn't okay. And I think that's the hardest thing for people to accept, is the fact that certain things that happened to you as a child is not okay. It's not normal, you know. If you've seen a dysfunctional relationship as a child, that's what you're gonna go into when you're an adult, you know. And you have to unlearn those behaviors. Even if it's like, oh, well, I'm not meaning to attract these people. I'm not meaning to attract these type of friends. I don't know why I do. You have to really just take a step back and, like, you know, why, like, write down, like, the earliest experience that you had when it came to either friends, relationships, anything else like that, and see, number one, how did they act? How did you react? Or two, how did you act and how did they react? And if you notice that there are certain patterns, change it. The first step to changing is realizing that there is a problem. And it's okay to say, hey, look, there's a problem. There's things that I did in the past that I'm not proud of, but I'm growing to be a better person. So, yeah, never doubt your growth. It's not an easy process to break generational curses. If anything, I think it's the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. So, yeah, and yes, I'm setting my face. I always set my face before I do my lips. Lining it with brown liner, and yeah. But that was like the hardest thing that I ever had to do. I was like, dang, I really am messed up a little bit. It's not even really my fault. So, yeah. And I'm going for a paler look on the lips as well. Like I said before, it is more of a 70s type of look, and they did rock the black liner and the pale lips. Sometimes they put gloss, sometimes they did not. I chose to put gloss on because it just really was not looking the way that I wanted it to look. And I'm really not going for that type of, I don't know, I just don't like it when my lips look exactly like that. It's a hot mess. But if you do it, I'm not knocking you. But yes, I'm using Kitty. Not the kitty fur. But yes, I'm using Kitty from AQM Cosmetics. I'll leave the link in the bio. I'll also put it on the screen as well. And make sure to follow my Instagram, AQM Cosmetics, and Candidly Ashley with 2 underscores. I also have my TikTok as well. But ooh, look at that shine. And it's still just like, you know, popping. Ooh, I was really feeling myself. Dang. But yeah, that's the look. And thank you for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell button. And I'll see y'all later.